Yeah, I can see it. We'll try it out. Welcome back, dear viewers. It is I, Greyhan, and welcome back to Dungeons & Dragons Character Conversion. Today, I want to take on XJ-9, or Jenny, from My Life as a Teenage Robot. This show was one of the many staples for me as a kid. XJ-9 was really good. So, I thought I would go ahead and take a look through the player's handbook and the new Eberron, Rise from the Last War, and see what we can do with XJ-9. We'll go ahead and start with the stats. We're going to use the point-buy system. Strength is going to be a 10, Dex will be a 14, Constitution is also a 14, Intelligence is going to be a 15, Wisdom will be an 8, and I want Charisma to be a 10, because, well, she is a robot. And the reason why I want Dex and Constitution to both be 14 is because we want a fast but hardy character. Intelligence is going to be a 15 because of the class we will be using later. I'll start with the race. Of course, we'll be using Warforged because they are robots. As stated in the Eberron book, while the first Warforged were mindless automatons, House Kenneth devoted vast resources to improving these steel soldiers. An unexpected breakthrough produced sapient soldiers, giving rise to what some have only grudgingly accepted as a new species. Now, this is more or less Jenny. She was developed as a sort of weapon. But, with her new friends and the city around her, they slowly accepted her as a member of society. Now, with the Warforged race, we're going to have an ability score increase of 2 for our Constitution and 1 for our Intelligence. We get Constructed Resilience, and we get Sentry's Rest and Integrated Protection. And Integrated Protection gives us a +1 to our armor class, which is going to be very useful. Now we have Specialized Design. We get 1 skill and 1 tool. I'm going to do Performance and Smith's Tools. Languages, we're just going to go with Common and Dwarvish. So with these stats, we have a 16 in Constitution and a 16 in Intelligence now. Now we do have a choice of quirk to use. I felt that this one was fitting for XJ-9, because, well, she's a teenager. At least she was designed with the mentality of a teenager. So dramatic outbursts are, well, common. Background, I decided to go with the faceless background, which would work for any type of superhero technically, but I felt that XJ-9 would fit the faceless background pretty well. The features from the faceless background is the faceless persona, which more or less is what you act like. And so, XJ-9 would be a bubbly human female. And you have the dual personality trait. You can switch back and forth between the personalities as you see fit. Whether it be your human half or your war machine characteristics. For proficiencies, we went with deception and intimidation. Tools, we got the disguise kit, and we just added gnomish to the languages that we know. Characteristics, I chose these just because they fit well with the character. I ended up having to go with what I could find on her wiki, and a little bit from what was available in the player's handbook. We're going to start off with a fighter class level, just because I don't want XJ-9 to die really quickly. And we need some good fighting skills to start off anyways. So we'll get a hit die of 1d10. And because of the current modifier on her constitution, she has 13 hit points, which is pretty good. She gets proficiencies in all of her armors, shield, simple weapons, martial weapons, and it does have an option for firearms if your dungeon master runs firearms in the game. Which, if you have robots, there's a high chance that there's going to be guns. We also have thieves' tools and tinker's tools as a proficiency, as well as the carpenter's tools. For saving throws, we have strength and constitution, skills, perception, and insight. For fighting style, I chose the close quarters shooter because, well, you're going to be doing a lot of that with some of your weapons. You're going to be up in the front lines, and you have your ranged weaponry, which is what we're going to be building on with ranged weapon attacks. We also get the second wind feature. Leveling up to level 2 fighter, we get the action surge, which just helps us with our attacks. Leveling up, we'll go ahead and change things up a bit and go with the artificer class. The bonus proficiencies we'll be getting will be thieves' tools and tinker's tools. We also get a spell casting feature. With our save DC being intelligence, as well as our spell attack modifier. This is why we had a very high intelligence modifier. When we upgrade again with the artificer, we get the infuse item trait, which will be really useful later on. We'll go ahead and upgrade our artificer levels once more, and we are taking the Unearthed Arcana's armorer specialist. With it, we get tools of the trade. The armorer spells we get are going to be magic missile and shield. We get the power armor trait, and our armor model is going to be infiltrator, which is going to be very, very useful. And we also get the right tool for the job. Leveling up once more, we have the fighter level, so we'll go ahead and get a martial archetype. I chose the scout to enhance our ranged weapon capabilities. We get bonus proficiencies with athletics, acrobatics, and investigation. We also get combat superiority and the natural explorer. With combat superiority, it'll help us with our ability to hit with our ranged weapons, which you'll see why I want that in a second. Leveling up once more, we'll go ahead and go in artificer, and we'll take the observant feat, which increases our intelligence and wisdom by 1. We are now able to read lips, and we get a +5 bonus to our wisdom, perception, or intelligence investigation scores. If you are not using feats in your game, just go ahead and increase your constitution and your intelligence by 1. Leveling up once more, we are going into fighter again, and we're going to be taking the sharpshooter feat. We don't get any stat bonuses, but attacking at long range doesn't impose disadvantage on ranged weapon attack rolls. So say your bow hold on one second. I don't have the page open. So your bow, let's say you have the long bow. It has a range of 150 to 600 feet. If you go past that 600 feet, normally you would have disadvantage on your rolls. With the sharpshooter feat, you do not have disadvantage. Also, your ranged weapon attacks ignore half cover and 3/4 cover. Finally, and this is what I was hoping for, was the -5 to your ranged attack roll. If the attack hits, you get a +10 to its damage, which is very, very good. Now, if you do not have feats in your game, go ahead and just increase your dexterity by 2. Leveling up once more, we're going to level 5 Artificer, which gives us an extra attack. And also, armor spells will be Mirror, Image, and Shatter. Leveling up once more, we're going to get tool expertise from our Artificer. Level 7 Artificer is going to give us the Flash of Genius. And finally, at level 8 Artificer, we get a ability score increase. We're just going to increase our dexterity up to a 16. If feats were not used, go ahead and just increase your dexterity to a 17 and intelligence to an 18. Now, I have an additional set of level ups you can do if you so wish, and if your dungeon master will allow it. This goes into Unearthed Arcana territory. But because of this, go ahead and make some adjustments to your stats. If you do use this, your charisma will end up being a 13 at the end of your stat changes. Dexterity will be a 15. Or if you do not have any feats, your stats will be 10 for strength, dexterity will be 16, constitution 17, intelligence will be 17 once you reach level 8, wisdom is still an 8, and charisma will become 13 after the improvements. So, why are we doing this? Well, we're going to level up into warlock. We are going to take the Unearthed Arcana patron of Ghost in the Machine. This is from the Unearthed Arcana Modern Magic. With Modern Magic, Ghost in the Machine patron, we get the bonus cantrip of On and Off. We also get Information Surge and a bonus proficiency in hacking tools. We also get new spellcasting. This is Pact Magic, however, and our modifier is going to be used for Charisma. At level 2 Warlock, we will get the Eldritch Invocations of Eldritch Smite and Arcane Gunslinger. Eldritch Smite is going to be very useful once we get our Warlock to a level 5. Now, this is either a level 5 Warlock or just in general having a level 5 character. I don't exactly know, but we're going on the safe side and say level 5 Warlock. At level 3, we're going to get the Pact Boon of Pact of the Blade. And thanks to our previous level up, the Arcane Gunslinger, we can have a firearm as our Pact weapon. At level 4, we are going to take the Warcaster feature, which will give us advantage on Constitution saving throws for concentration when we take damage. And we can perform somatic components, the hand gestures, even when we have weapons or a shield in one or both of our hands. And when a hostile creature's movement provokes an opportunity attack from you, you can cast a spell at that creature rather than making an opportunity attack. The spell must have a casting time of 1 action and must target only the creature that provoked the attack. Again, if you're not taking any feats, go ahead and just increase your intelligence and charisma by 1 point. And then we'll go ahead and upgrade our warlock to a level 5 so that we are safe with the Eldritch Smite, which increases our damage output. Alright, let's go ahead and go with equipment. For starting equipment, we have the following from both our fighter class and our background with the Faceless. Leather armor, longbow with 20 arrows, a scimitar, shield, light crossbow, 20 bolts, and a Dungeoneer's pack. A disguise kit, a costume, a pouch, and 10 gold. Now there is another weapon, the double blade scimitar. While that deserves a video in of itself, you could also go with that. Because I think that weapon is a little bit overpowered with a fighter build. At least that's how it reads. Some recommended equipment. I'd recommend getting some splint armor. The reason why is because with the Infiltrator power armor feature from your artificer, the splint armor will not impose disadvantage when you're trying to stealth. Also, you will technically not need the strength requirement needed for splint armor, because a splint armor requires you to have a 15 strength. You could also go with plate mail since it has one or more armor, but the splint mail just looks cool. As it says here in the book, this armor is made of narrow vertical strips of metal riveted to the backing of leather that is worn over cloth padding. Flexible chainmail protects the joints. So it looks really good, but you can do either splint or plate mail. I just recommend splint because it looks pretty cool. And it weighs a little bit less than the plate mail. Now, I also recommend getting any firearm range weapon. Now, while your packed weapon will technically give you whatever firearm you need, that level up is optional. You don't exactly need it. It's just a way to carry less. Now for our spells. At first level Artificer, we got Mending and Shocking Grasp, as well as Disguise Self and Fairy Fire. Once we become an 8th level Artificer, go ahead and grab yourself Catapult and Grease, as well as Absorb Weapon, Absorb Elements. With the level 2 spell slot, we have Alter Self and See Invisibility. It is technically XJ-9's dream to be a human. An Alter Self and Disguise Self will help her achieve that dream and make it easier for her to move around in some situations. If you do decide to take the Warlock, go ahead and go with the cantrip of Eldritch Blast and Mind Sliver. Your first level spell slot will have the first level spells Charm, Person, and Hex. At 5th level, go ahead and get Hold Person, Spider Climb, Counterspell, and Fly, because she can fly. Alright, that's going to have to be it for this video. If you like this video, go ahead and leave a like. And if you wish to see more, tell me who you'd like to see next. Until next time, this has been Drayhan, and I am offline.